With the fall of the Berlin Wall marking the beginning of globalization, we saw the world boom. It wasn't just the Berlin Wall that fell, though. Walls were falling all over the place, metaphorically speaking. Deregulation, the expanding internet, and falling tax rates all contributed to the confidence being at an all-time high. It seemed to most people that it would never end, and the government declaring it had finally put an end to boom and bust. We saw increasingly creative mortgage products come on the market, such as self-certification. Just tell us what you earn and we'll believe you. Residential mortgages where the banks were lending more than the property was worth, sometimes up to 120% of the home value. You could buy a home for $100,000 and get £20,000 cash back. Buy a property on a bridging finance for $80,000, then have it revalued at $100,000, then take out a mortgage for $85,000, giving you an instant profit of $5,000 and a theoretical equity of $15,000, and all in the same day. I remember applying to refinance 2 properties I owned to raise capital for another project when the bank suggested that I take the entire debt out on one property, so that I would have the second property free and clear of any debt, and the bank didn't want even security over the second property. It wasn't just happening here, it was happening all over the world. It was built on the belief that loans would all be paid and that asset prices would all continue to rise. Eventually, it occurred to someone that perhaps all the loans would not be repaid, and it all started to come crashing down. Why it fell apart, of course, is far more complex than this, but I won't go off tangent to explain it this further. I heard people in the property industry predicting that this was just a little blip and that things would return to normal. I heard others say that property would never recover, like they had told my grandfather in the 1930s. No one seemed to know what was going on. They did not understand the cycle, which I'll cover in our training on property cycles, but stay with me for just now, as you need to understand where we are now and what's really happening. We had the party, and now we had the hangover. The party was the expansion of globalization, which was a good thing, but like a party, we continue to consume to excess. The hangover is the backlash that was predicted by Thomas Friedman in his excellent book, The Lexus and the Olive Tree, published in 1999. In the book, he talks about the rise of globalization, which he describes as a good thing. But if we leave people behind and destroy cultures, we can expect a backlash. Reading this book will help you understand much of what's happening in the world right now, and I highly recommend that you do.